Hey everybody, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. So I spent a couple minutes doing research, so it's literally just been a couple minutes, and I found out the problem is snapping. Snapping does not work with trying to put stuff inside the service bay, apparently. So you can see right now, bam. Nope, I don't know if I can get at. I might have to rebuild the ship. They make it very hard. I'm trying to just click on this one thing, but because it's inside. Okay, so let's remake that service bay. Let's open it. Let's put a goo canister inside. Just science. Some goo canister. See how it auto orientates. Gosh, that's so much. I think that was one of the things that was screwing me up. Of course, I could be completely wrong, and it could be something else. But that's a start. Everything looks like it's in the right place now. So if it's in there, it should theoretically be safe from any heat surfaces or anything like that. The biggest issue would be not being able to open this. I would think. Again, I'm making this all up. Okay. So we're back to where we started. But hopefully we have having everything built right will fix all my problems. And away we go. So yeah, we're trying to tilt our nose down. And I think in the future I might actually put a thermometer or something on the outside so that we can have more easily identify what the nose is. Because yeah, who knows? Who knows? Oh, it's like, why isn't it firing? Oops, I didn't mean to tilt that way. Okay. Once again, we're about to cut fuel. Let's go ahead and cut fuel now that we see that it's starting to heat up. So you can see it starts to heat up around 600, 650 or so. And then we want to check. Happy Apes, this is at 22. And we want to kind of burn towards the horizon when that happens. That's how we'd get into orbit. We're not going for a true orbit right now, but we are going. Okay. We are going kind of suborbital. I'm not going to just crank the throttle all the way up. See, we're still in atmosphere, so it's still kind of wreaking havoc on us. Yeah, this front parachute is almost definitely going to be worthless. Let's go ahead and bail on that. Cannot deploy while stowed, so let's open this and deploy. Deploy chute. Damn it! They both got destroyed again. I thought that was the whole point of having one on the inside. It's the problem with the videos. All the videos I'm finding actually cut out all this boring part here, and they just show you the ships. And so you kind of have to try to piece it all together, what they're doing. Okay, so what we're gonna do then, hopefully this won't cause me to flip out. We're actually not gonna curve at all. We're gonna go just straight up in the air. We're not gonna switch that when we switch boosters or anything. This is all we're doing with this flight, assuming we actually go straight up. And then hopefully this parachute inside here will actually be good. Let's actually dial this down. Again, just because we're going straight up doesn't mean we want to burn ourselves out. So yeah, we're going about 350. We're still climbing, but we're not climbing super fast in speed. Which is good. That's what we want. So we're still climbing in speed. I want to make sure... See, this is still just climbing. I want to make sure that this doesn't start going down, is the big fear. I'm actually, if you can tell, I'm barely boosting. My throttle's like really far down, and I'm still climbing in speed. If that changes, so yep, we just switched into orbit right now, and that's not really orbit. But yeah, so we're in space. We're not in orbit, or we're not what you would think of when we say we're in orbit. But we'll see how far this will get us. Oh, there doesn't seem to be. Oh, we just cut. So 74. We've gone higher than that, I know, but that's still reasonable. So once we get close to that, I'm going to go ahead and try to do all the science. And that includes from this thing. And we'll even go EVA out here. Oh no, wait, we probably can't go EVA out here. But we're over 70. So, if we survive this, we should gain quite a good amount of science. Okay. And then you can't go EVA. I have to... Okay, then we don't want to rotate at all. And once we start to burn up, I'm going to deploy this, which will hopefully slow us down, which will hopefully actually deploy. For starters. I haven't seen anything happen that would not make this deploy. But this game seems more interested in screwing with me. But yeah, you can tell we mostly went just straight up. But we got some good height to that. We won't land exactly where we took off. Actually, that's a little confusing because we took off over here, but I think we're on course to land just slightly. I think we're going to land slightly inland, actually. Yeah. But here it's showing like we're going to land in the ocean. It's wrong. It is adjusting itself. So when we've deployed this in the past, when we did the actual mission, it said basically under 17,000. That should be about the point that we start really heating up. And that's good. Oh, deploy. Safe to deploy. Oh. Okay. Okay. Shoot. Why is... Dang it! I thought I had this, people. I really thought I did. But my chutes are burning up. Like insane. This one should be safe inside, even. I really, really am not understanding people. We're gonna try the exact same mission. This is only getting us up to a little over 300, I think. So maybe these arrow forces that we're seeing here, maybe we're too light for that. Oh no. Sorry, my game shrunk for a second there. I thought I was... My game thinks I'm holding shift down, apparently. Or not my game, but my computer. But yeah, we just want to go nice and slow. Nice and slow. If I could set this to just constantly go at a steady speed, I would. So, I don't know, if we burned up again, then we're gonna have to try... we're gonna have to try using, instead of... because we're still using the one big rocket at the beginning, so maybe we can multi-stage the smaller rockets. So we're going at a nice steady burn, so we probably won't get as high this time. Because we aren't reaching the speeds that we were with the last one, although we're starting to really climb, which I guess is a result of the air starting to thin out. So the same thrust, the same throttle, is now speeding up. And I'm actually just going to leave that. I'm not going to mess with the throttle. But we're about out of fuel anyways. Yep. So this will only get us to a little under 50. But we are in orbit, quote unquote. See, and we aren't high enough for us to actually get anything useful out of this. Yeah, we got very little from this, but we did get some. It looks like we'll get about 4 science from this. Again, if we survive. Oh. I know I might need to take a break from this game, but I guess we got PAX coming up, so I'll have plenty of break. But yeah, I'll need to watch some actual online tutorials rather than just Let's Plays, because right now all I'm doing is watching Let's Plays. Safe to deploy, risky. Why is it risky? Minimum pressure altitude. See, we're picking up way too much speed. Might also be worthwhile just doing this, but instead of burning all of our fuel on our way up, saving some, so that when we're heading down we can try burning in the opposite direction. I haven't seen anything saying to do that. That's purely a me idea. Okay. Unsafe. Well, if we don't deploy it soon... Oop, safe. Oh. That caught me off guard. Okay. Okay. So I've been setting off these parachutes really early. But this here is why we got a backup one now. I'm surprised that this worked, because yeah, we're going really slow and I didn't deploy it until about 4,000 meters. In the past, that's caused us problems. Yep, we landed. Woo! We actually get that for science. 4.4 science. So we're at 50.1. So now, oops, I should actually... Okay. Maybe it actually recovered that time. Okay, now we're actually going to do the exact same thing. But once we get over 20,000, we're going to crank the throttle up. So liquid fuel with the actual engine, we can control the burn. These, you can't control the burn. thought for a second there I had detached by accident. Okay, and then we'll leave it there for the moment. Let it climb to 20, like I said. Once it gets there, I'm ready to hold shift down, or rather I should just put, I think it's Z goes to the max. We are tilting kind of just naturally, it looks like. So full burn. I'm ready to like fight that. Oh, so even as high as we are, we're still getting a little bit of streaking. But okay. It was convinced we were going to 70, but now it's even lower. I forgot to hit T and R before. I wonder if that's affecting us. But yeah, we got a lot of curve on that one. Which again is strange because I wasn't pressing those buttons. And it's still going down. Hopefully we can get over 70. I'd like to try to get off a bunch of experiments when we do. And see if over 70 is high enough for us to get... I don't know if it's 70 or about 75 that we would say we're in space at that point. Let's go ahead and open this in preparation. Come on. Ooh, we're really slowing down. We're not going to have very long. Come on. Report. Okay, we did everything we could. Let's close this. And then we'll position this. Why does it think it's coming in like that? Sorry, but you're way off. It's going to be probably closer to this. But we'll see as it trails. It'll trail to where I'm going over here. Risky. So don't deploy when it's risky. But I might have to get super ready with the indoor one as well. Okay, we actually got some reasonable distance off this one. Like I said, it took off at a weird angle for some reason. But we'll get another batch of science when and if we land this one. We're coming in pretty heavy. See, now it's like unsafe. Do not do it. I know if I have to click on it for it to show me. Let's open this. Unsafe, 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 unsafe. What are you doing to me, game? Safe. Safe. Alright. Okay. And we'll do another EVA here. I don't think we'll get anything out of it. Whoosh. If I cut this other parachute, we'll go twice as fast down now. Okay. It's interesting there's nothing for the cut parachute. It doesn't like fall out of the sky or anything on its own. But alright. So yeah, you can tell we're starting to I'm starting to understand a little bit better. Where are you? EVA report. Another 3.2 science. So we should have gotten quite a bit of science off that, actually. That didn't give me... Damn it! That didn't give me everything. That gave me his EVA report, and that's it, I think. Research and Development Tracking Station. Okay. Okay, so yeah, there. It's showing me where that zone is now. Oops. Is it gonna go to it? Recover vessel. Okay. So you can see we got 48 science from that. That's our probably most successful mission yet. Well, alright. I don't have that mission, do I? No, I don't. We have to be in orbit from 80,000 to 82,000 when we fire off the TR2C stack separator. I think we can do that. I don't think we actually have to be in orbit. We have to be in the space region called orbit. We're gonna go ahead and try that. We're actually going to... Don't save. We're gonna go back to this one, which is still called the Try Harder. I know a lot of people really get into naming things. I'm not a big fan of going through names. I always try to give things really super important names, and yeah, I try to give everything like a super important, meaningful name. And it ends up not working out too well. Okay, so we're gonna try now that. It's weird, it's not coming up with the casing covering all these other little holes. Yeah, so fire this bottom one, then separate, then fire this one, then separate, then we'll fire that one. And we need to get to 80 before we do this one. So we got a little bit of a curve that time, and I think that's because I didn't have the RCS and the SAS turned on. The SAS in particular. The RCS, I think, really only affects you while you're in space. But we'll go ahead. Like I said, we need to get into orbit at an altitude of 80,000 to 82,000. So hopefully this will be enough. If not, we can go back. This almost definitely will not be enough, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Because we already fired that off now, we're going to just be carrying dead weight. And we probably won't make it to 80. You know what will get us to 80 is if instead of doing it that way, we get up here and we do it up here. Now we just need to make sure we got everything in the right order still. Which we do not. That, then that. So boop, boop, fire, detach, fire that, and then break that couple. So that's the 80. That's the 80 to 82,000 decoupler. Woo-wee. I forgot to hit R&T before we started, but I hit them shortly after. It's kind of insane. So yeah, we get rid of the big wings, but we still have the little wings at this point. So that'll hopefully give us the extra boost we need to get us up there. And then because we're getting about 70,000 or so. We're going to do the same kind of thing. We're going to let this run out. We're not going to crank it as hard as we have in the past, or as I did that last time rather, when we get to 80, or when we get to 20, but we will still crank it up. Although you can see it's already speeding up exponentially, so maybe that's a wasted effort. Let's still do it. We'll do it halfway there. Or about halfway. So yeah, we're speeding up, but we're not doing as bad as we were in the past. still saying we're surface. Now we're in orbit. Oh, that's not gonna get us there. Dang it. That's not strong enough to get us there. You know what, actually I'm gonna leave that there. But we're gonna throw in another decoupler. And do another one of these little ones. See, we're just getting taller and taller here. But we still need to go through and make sure everything is in order. So shoot that, decouple, shoot that, decouple, shoot that, decouple, and then shoot that, decouple, parachutes. So we are also getting heavier the more we add on there. Is one thing to keep in mind, but I think the added thrust is going to be worth it. We might have to rethink. Oh, it felt like we were really slowing down there for a second. We might have to rethink a couple things. We might have to get a stronger initial burst. Okay, if the engine's turned on, the apoapsis. Is climbing. Wondering if that noise I'm hearing that's kind of staticky is stuff hitting the ground way below me. Has gotta be, because this is about to hit it. Yeah, see? This is growing pretty fast. But then I gotta carry all this dead weight with me up to that height as well. As long as this doesn't fall too much, we should be good. So I gotta keep an eye on that. But look at that. Look at that. It's the galaxy. It's the edge of the galaxy. So that would be like the center of the galaxy, I believe. Okay, so we're sitting right around 83, which is good because we need to get up to 80 to 82. So all this extra weight is not going to screw me over. And once we get up that high, we can also start doing experiments. Oh, but see, it's not giving me orbit. So maybe I actually have to be in orbit. Like maybe I actually have to be in that height. Yeah, but didn't give it to me. But while we're up here, let's get what science we can. You have no observations for me. You're worthless. Yeah, I can't go. You can look at the space. I can see my dials and stuff in here. But okay. I like this nice serene music out here. Let's get outside. Let's go ahead and close this for re-entry. I don't know why, but I have this sudden urge to play Mass Effect. I love the first Mass Effect, guys. Oh, look at this. It's still right there. Why is it still right there? I mean, I guess we were pretty high when we released it. But it seems interesting it's all still in a straight line like that. Hopefully that's not going to come haunt us. Yeah, the first Mass Effect is definitely one of my favorite games of all time. Hello. So yeah, I have to actually be orbiting, like in the process of orbiting. So I might have to be in a low orbit. But I think it was, if I leave this, it'll eventually let me know when it's safe to deploy. But I am going to, once it starts to cool down, I'm going to need to do this to unlock this. Safe. Unsafe, risky, safe. Okay. So that's actually, I did not find that part out due to a tutorial. I found out that you can click on individual ones and tell them to deploy thanks to a tutorial. But I didn't see the risky, safe, all that. That's all me. I learned how to read all by myself. That's not true. Not that I remember, but I'm reasonably confident that my parents and teachers helped me out. But yeah, so that's a successful mission. We're starting to have some success here, people. And we should have a bunch of science. I didn't get that much for this one. But we should have over 100 science that we can go spend. And one of the things I'm going to spend it on is the jet part stuff. So that we can take those cruise missions and it'll mark them on navigation. Oh, where I've got to go for those. But here comes the ground. Pow. Let's EVA. Do an EVA report. Go ahead and board back again. Now, if we recover, it should have actually recovered the ship. and everything too. So yeah, we actually got some pretty decent science from that one. We got 14.7, so we're now at 116 science. We're at 102.30. We didn't gain any reputation from that, at least as far as the game is concerned. I feel like I've earned a reputation because I'm not a complete disaster anymore. But if we look in research and development, we have the aviation stuff in here. This general rocketry, advanced rocketry. I mean, it adds some cool stuff, but the big important thing I want right now is the aviation stuff. That will also gain us further access to more aerodynamic stuff. And aerodynamics and landing stuff. So that better parachute, now with only 50% of the structural integrity. Wrench the command pod up and away from a malfunctioning rocket. I don't know that I really need that. Here's a better heat shield and some landing gears and stuff, and that's more plane stuff essentially. But we're not gonna get locked into anything by any stretch of the imagination. But we'll go ahead and get this. We'll get all of this level stuff as well. And then I do have more for one more. But I don't think I want to spend it until I'm sure. Those will come in super handy though. So I'm gonna keep that in mind because I do want these. What do they say? It's a fancy word for rocket holder. That's the device that'll I can put on my pad or on my ship during launch. That will help it keep stable. But right now I have enough money to unlock one of these other ones, one of these three other ones, and I'm going to save it so that I can check and see which one of those I want. We're gonna go ahead and I was gonna call it a day right there, but we still got a little bit of extra time. I want to try to make a ship again. And we are going to do kind of the same thing with this one. See, we got landing gears and stuff on this one as well. But we're going to, in here, we are going to put parachute to start off with. So this is going to be, we're going to make this basically its own escape pod again, even though we are making a plane. And again, this is ripped off, like just straight ripped off of somebody else's idea. But I like it, and so I'm going with it. So we're going to add in some extra batteries there. The reason we're doing that is because the ships will control entirely on pitch and yaw and stuff like that. So let's actually, we're going to just do one, because we're also going to throw in one of these. So now that we got that, we don't need to add a heat shield on this because we're not going orbital. We are going to add a stack decoupler. So basically the reason we're doing this part, you can see we got a jet engine right here. So we got some fuel tanks. We're gonna add some wings. Tail fin, wing connector. Oh, that's actually pretty dang big. That's pretty big. Delta winglet. Actually, what we should do, we want 2 of these because it is a plane, so we want one on either side. And then what is this? Finest materials, flight surfaces are guaranteed to operate. I don't know what this is. Oh, these are... Those are those. I don't think that's the wings that I'm looking for. So maybe we'll just use these. These swept wings. Those will be wings. So that looks, as you can tell, that looks, we're starting to look more like a plane, right? We are going to also we're gonna add a couple more fuel. Well, let's deal with one more fuel tank. And let's set snapping back on, because we can have it back on now. We just can't have it on while we're messing around inside there. So we got that on there. Hopefully this is going to be enough space. Looks a little bit like a fighter jet, doesn't it? But so, now that we got that, we also need... Oh, you know what? That's what we're missing. We do want to have a science unit on here. The reason we're doing that is because we're going to try to go out somewhere and land. So we're going to do that, but we're also going to do it behind here. So if we end up, you know, screwing up the whole operation and blowing up the ship, we'll lose the science, but we will survive. Steerable landing gear. Fixed landing gear. It's a bit hard to tell. Okay. So those are fixed gears, so they won't be able to retract or anything. We have a parachute in here. And that will help us in case we break off. I kind of want to put another parachute back here, so that when we're trying to land, let's actually go ahead and do that. Can we put one on either side here? Or is that going to cause a problem? Let's put one on the top and one on the bottom. So that way when we land... Oh, that just put one on. That's weird. Okay. So it's putting two on there, just putting them in the same space. But yeah, we want to do that so that when we stop, when we try to land, we can actually stop. Because these aren't good gears. So we'll waste a parachute, but hopefully we'll save a life. And we're gonna call this the first go. See, like I said, I was trying to come up with something witty and original, and at a certain point I'm just like, you know what? Let's just call it what it is. Okay. So the only thing we want to do is that. In the case of emergency, we'll do these. In the event of an emergency, we will pop this and pull the chute on the bottom of that, and hopefully we'll be able to collect the rest of this as well as this front part, but I haven't seen any evidence that that'll actually work. And then the last ditch scenario is this, is pull this parachute that's in here. So okay, we're rolling backwards, it's a great start. Oh. Does this not use liquid fuel? Why wouldn't it use liquid fuel? That was strange. Worked best at low cruising speed and altitude. So maybe I'm supposed to use a booster in order to get it off the ground in the first place? Okay. See, I can't even do that. Oh, so I'm sorry, people. I think I... Actually, you know what? It's not letting me do anything with these at this moment. It's behaving very awkwardly. Oh, because it doesn't have the green thing. It doesn't have the green snap twos. Can we? We could. This'll be quite entertaining. We're gonna end up reverting here, anyways. Oh, you know what? Dang it. That actually needs to be on a decoupler, anyways. For it to hanger. Oh, and is it? Wait, why is it off? Oh no, game crash! Alright, you guys can't see, but the game crashed, so I'm actually gonna call it there. That's 1 hour. That's a good time. But thanks for tuning in. We'll have to check out the space plane later.